Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take these complex sources, all this research, and some really intense experiences, and we try to distill them into the essential knowledge you need to be, well, immediately informed.
And today is ambitious.
Yeah.
We are trying to condense a 3-day full-on expedition.
Yeah, across some of South America's most challenging landscapes. We're talking highest altitudes, the most spectacular visuals you can imagine.
That's right. We're tracking a really difficult high-altitude safari route. We start in what is, without a doubt, the king of arid environments. That's Chile's Atacama Desert.
And from there, it's a mad dash, a push straight up into the extremes of the Bolivian Altiplano until you're finally standing on one of the great natural wonders of the planet. So our mission today really is to synthesize not just the sights, which are incredible, but the sheer logistical, the physical endurance that this kind of journey demands.
Right. We need to get a handle on the geography, which is unique, but also the acute challenges. The real-life dangers of high-altitude travel.
And the global significance of where this all ends up.
And that destination, the geographical centerpiece that really anchors this entire deep dive, is the Salar de Uyuni.
Okay, so when people hear salt flat, I think, they might picture a small white patch of ground somewhere. We have to reset that expectation right now.
Immediately. The Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt lake. It spans it's hard to even comprehend, 10,582 square kilometers.
Wow. 10,000. Okay, so for comparison, give us something we can wrap our heads around.
Okay, so famous one, Turkey's Tuzgulu. A lot of people know it's huge. It's about 1,500 square kilometers.
Okay.
Uyuni is nearly 7 times larger.
7 times?
It's so vast that when you're standing in the middle of it, you can actually start to perceive the curvature of the Earth on the horizon.
It's unbelievable. And this isn't some low-lying desert basin.
Not at all. That's the other key. This massive feature sits at 3,656 meters above sea level, so it's one of the highest salt flats on the planet.
And that elevation is everything. Because it means you're not just a tourist looking at a cool thing. You are battling the atmosphere itself just to be there.
And we have to talk about its modern relevance right out of the gate, because this is what most travel guides miss. This huge, silent, beautiful landscape is probably the single most important resource for the entire global electronics industry.
The lithium.
The lithium. The Uyuni contains the world's largest known reserves of it. It's the critical component for every single rechargeable battery you own.
So the future of electric cars, smartphones, it's all sitting under this salt crust in Bolivia.
A huge chunk of it,
Oh.
yes. So this geological marvel holds the key.
Okay, so that's where the contrast really hits home. How does a landscape transition so violently, geographically, and what it does to your body, from the world's driest desert to this immense, resource-rich salt flat, all you're fighting for every single breath?
And it all starts in this little backpacker hub, the town of San Pedro de Atacama. So let's unpack this ascent to the extreme. So we begin with this paradox, the Atacama Desert. It's the launch pad for the whole trip, but it's an extreme environment all on its own.
Yeah, it claims the title of the world's driest non-polar place. And it's one thing to just say it's dry, but the historical data is just staggering.
It really is. Our sources confirm it. There are large sections of the Atacama that had never, ever recorded rainfall until 1971.
Never. We're talking about a place so arid that even microbial life struggles to exist. It's alien.
And geographically, there's a reason for that. It's this twin effect. On one side, you have the massive Andes Mountains creating a rain shadow, blocking any moisture from the east.
All right, from the Amazon.
Exactly. And on the other side, you have the cold Humboldt Current in the Pacific. It stabilizes the air on the west, so it prevents clouds and rain from forming. The region is basically locked in this state of perpetual extreme dryness.
A seemingly infinite, lifeless desert. But that very desolation, that lack of life, is what gives it this huge scientific importance. And here's the first real deep dive nugget. NASA uses this place for space studies. So why?
Because the terrain, its mineral makeup, and that extreme lack of water make it the closest thing we have on Earth to Mars.
Really? That close of an analog?
It's the best one we've got. NASA uses the Atacama for astrobiology research. They test equipment there that's designed to search for microbial life on other planets. The logic is, if a microbe can somehow survive here, it might just stand a chance on Mars.
And that connection is right there in the name of the most famous local spot, the Valle de la Luna, the Moon Valley.
Yep. The traveler's notes describe it perfectly. You're crossing these huge sand dunes, passing through these flat areas that are just white with salt. It feels completely alien.
And the key is timing the visit for sunset.
Oh, absolutely. That turns the alien landscape into, well, a masterpiece. The sources talk about climbing up high to watch the sun dip below this vast expanse and noting that the sunset is experienced different from everywhere else.
What makes it different?
The colors are sharper, the shadows get incredibly long, and the atmosphere just feels thinner, you know? It allows for this spectacular light show. It's this moment of strange, quiet beauty.
A deceptive one.
A very deceptive psychological buffer before the real physical challenge kicks in the very next day.
Okay, so the next morning, day one of the safaris, this is where the journey switches from, contemplative sightseeing into